You know what's harder than selling snake oil? It's technology consulting and coaching businesses. It's incredibly hard to sell technology consulting and coaching services, especially given there are certain words that we use in our sales pitches. And in this video, I'm going to share the 4 phrases that all of us technology consultants and coaches should stop using right away. Hi, and welcome to the Elevated Entrepreneur YouTube channel. My name is Dhiren Bhatia, and I help technology consultants and coaches package their creativity into a system so that they can create consistent income. Let's get started with today's video and the first phrase that you should remove right away, and that is the word trying. How many of us use the word trying in our day-to-day conversation and even in our conversations with a prospect? I'm going to try to do this for you. I try to get back to you. I think the word trying indicates laziness. It indicates the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about. The word trying puts us in a very bad and awkward position in the customer's mind. When a customer asks a question, the last thing they want to see is the person on the other end not sure of what they're selling. And the word trying does just that. Instead, we could replace trying with I will or I won't. An example of this is I will eat lunch or I won't eat lunch. I'll brush my teeth or I won't brush my teeth. Similarly, it's not like we're going to say, I'm going to try and eat lunch or I'm going to try and brush my teeth. We don't say that. Either I am going to or I'm not going to. And I think the word trying creates that confusion. It creates chaos in the prospect's mind. So remember, remove the word trying. The second reason you don't want to use the word trying typically means that you're not really happy to do this task. You've already put it out into the future and you're procrastinating on it. And that's really when a lot of tasks don't get done, because we say to ourselves, I'm going to try and get this done. Either I will or I won't. The second phrase, and this is the one that gets me all the time, is to be honest with you. How many times have you heard to be honest with you? And immediately what that creates is a sense of mistrust. Does that mean that you haven't been honest this while? Or are you going to be dishonest after now? So using the phrase to be honest with you is a very tricky one to backtrack out of. So better to avoid it completely. The other reason you don't want to be using the word to be honest with you is because we expect in a conversation that you've been honest from the very get-go. And putting that question or putting that phrase in that statement makes the customer question the whole conversation, and it lowers your ability to close that sale. And I'm sure you've heard this, in a sale there's typically a person in power, either the prospect or the salesperson. And by using something like to be honest with you, or even the other one is to be frank with you, will automatically lower your stature in that conversation. You are no longer the person controlling the conversation. A third phrase that is linked closely to this one is sorry to bother you, especially when we are following up about an open proposal or about a conversation that happened a little while ago and we haven't heard back. A typical way to approach that conversation is either by phone or by email and say something like, sorry to bother you. My question is this: are we really sorry as salespeople to be checking in on a conversation that the customer was supposed to come back to us? Why do we begin that conversation with the word sorry? So I'm here to remind you, don't be apologetic about something that we're not supposed to be apologizing about. Sales is not a bad thing. Following up is not a bad thing. So there's no reason, us as consultants and coaches, when we are following up with our prospect, to find out what happened about the proposal, what happened about that conversation. Instead of saying sorry to follow up, I would dive right into the conversation. I would ask, hey, we spoke about this particular item. Can you give me an update on that? That's a much better way to open the door with that customer. If you were clear with them at the time of sending out the email or the proposal, you would have told them that you're going to follow up. So there's no reason to start the conversation by, I'm sorry to bother. And the last one, the one that I've had the hardest time getting rid of, is the phrase, trust me. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Trust me, I'm very good at this. And right away, what that creates in the prospect's mind, you guessed it, is doubt, is mistrust. You need to tell me to trust you. Something's not right in this conversation. Either we're not the right fit for each other, or you're not selling me a service that even you're sure of. So remember, trust me creates more damage than good. So get rid of the word trust me right away. It's better to use simpler, straightforward language than use something like trust me. Hey, actually, I'm not 100% sure of this, or I need to get back to you about this, so give me some time. That's a better way to handle situations where you're not sure. If you like this video, check out this one here, where I get to talk to you about the sales tips that entrepreneurs and consultants need to follow.